How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another She-Hulk episode review. This is the season finale, or the finale, because we don't know if we're going to get another season, but this episode is entitled, Whose Show Is This? And a stunning twist of fate, trying to figure out how to end this show. They did it in one of the most unique and interesting ways possible. But before we go any further, please drop a like, hit up that comment section, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. All right, I'm going to assume that you are coming here because you've seen this, right? You've seen this. So I'm just going to jump right on into this. BTW, best shirt I have that has the Hulk on it, because the other one wasn't feeling it too much. Anyway, let's talk about these references. The show starts off with a huge homage and throwback to the original 1970s The Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. Now, Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno are not in here, but Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, they had the same film grain. They had the 4.3 aspect ratio. Like, oh my God, they had the same outfits. They like the old outfits. They had Jen and the old machine like Bruce with the that was great. I watched it as a kid. Yes, you're probably saying, how were you? You weren't even no, I watched it as a kid, trust me. Plus, when they put it on, it was on Netflix. Remember when Netflix was the only streaming service show for a long time? It was on Netflix. I watched the crap out of it. Thor showed up in there too. Anyway, that was amazing. She even said the line, you won't like me when I'm angry. Mark Ruffalo was there in 70s outfit, giant ass glasses. So fun. They even had the theme, not the Lonely Man theme, but they had the actual theme, and they had a Lou Ferrigno-esque live action She-Hulk with muscles and everything, just raw. It just, even when doing the recap, it was that Hulk like breaking things in the dress. It was amazing. Let's talk about well, we'll go for the fallout. What's the fallout? Well, she's in jail. Excuse me, same cell that looks like Blonsky, Emil Blonsky, the Abomination, was in. Lost her job because she can no longer turn into She-Hulk, because that's part of the terms of her getting out. Had to move back at home with her parents, lost her place and all that. And stuff had just went downhill for her. If you feel so bad for Jen. Now, that's the setup. Here is the ending was as thus. She needed to get away, so she went to Emil's little retreat place where she was met by the old record guy. All right, cool. She's there. Apparently, he had a seminar going on. Meanwhile, Nikki, the best friend, greatest best friend ever, blows Ned out the water. She's in contention with Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson as being like a good best friend, because my God, she was able to get an embarrassing video of Jen from her mom when it was her mom trying to figure out who Intelligencia is, put it on, able to get inside, had to get Pugsley because apparently they said bro, and this place was only full of men. Which, oh my God, just some of the trashy stuff they had these dudes say. I've seen this shit online. Like, I got no problem with Lady Thor. She just sucks, right? I mean, I'd be saying it if she was a guy. Ooh. And I did read things like that. Or, why I gotta be She-Hulk? We don't have He-Hulk. Oh, God. Oh, that's... Just... Yeah. And, of course, the not so... First of all, I called it meter. I wish I had editing to put I called it meter. I called it meter number 1. Todd was definitely involved in all that. Ta-da. He's the one who made Intelligencia. All right, so you got Pug in there. Pug is such a nice guy. He is having a hard time pretending. Nikki has to feed him lines, but all of a sudden she has to come in. They have a whole presentation, and it's Emil Blonsky. But guess what? Jen walks in. We get this crazy thing where the guy is like, oh yeah, I had the guy sleep with you and steal your blood. Synthesize it. Then it becomes Hulkicized. All right. Then all of a sudden, people been trying to call Bruce since the beginning of this episode. Bruce falls from the ceiling. He's like, you let go of my cousin, Abomination. wait, there's been a misunderstanding. So then, so much crap. And all of a sudden, Titania burst through. Remember, this happened at night. All right. So I say all that to set up for the fact that Kevin Feige shows up. This entire fourth wall breaking sequence is lifted and modified and changed for this format, taken straight from, I cannot tell you what She-Hulk issue it is exactly. I don't know if it might have been towards the end of the first run or in the beginning of the second run of her original Sensational She-Hulk comic, which, by the way, they call her Savage She-Hulk for that Incredible Hulk movie reference homage, because the Savage She-Hulk comic line that had concluded, that was written by, I cannot remember his name. I promise I will look it up as we speak right now. That whole line, that was a trash comic. And by trash, the latest one. The beginning ones from the 1980s, fantastic. The latest stuff, where She-Hulk looks kind of, and they have no reason why she looks like that. It's just because the guy just wanted Hulk, but he couldn't get that. I've been saying that this whole entire series, regardless of that fact. This whole entire end sequence is lifted from a comic where she literally tears back the page and is like, what is with this crappy ending? I'm going to talk to the writer, and literally goes up to the writer. I think it's Burns. I think Burns created She-Hulk along with Stan Lee. Goes to Burns, and it's like, what is up with this? One of the few instances of an actual creator being in his own comic. So she goes to the writer's room, which they literally are mapping out episodes, like episode 104, seasons, and they're like, yeah, this is a great ending. And she's like, hey, she's at the Disney lot. Hey, this ending sucks. Well, it's what Kevin wants. I'll talk to Kevin. Does a quick fight scene with guards, which of course she's going to beat them. She is She-Hulk. How does She-Hulk get to the real world, you ask? The whole entire time she's been breaking the fourth wall, like heavily in this one. Even in the beginning, she asked us, this wasn't supposed to be like a reluctant hero story. Was it? Like, are you guys enjoying this? To the point where all that crap was happening I told you about, she asked us, is this really what you guys want? And we get a fake Disney Plus screen where it's just all the Marvel stuff. We see Multiverse of Madness. We see the shows. And she's like, hold on. I'm going to break this inhibitor. All right, breaking this thing. She burst out of her own panel. She looks through some of the panels like, okay, no. Behind the Marvel. Jumps through there. Now she's here. Signs an NDA to see Kevin. Still gets the, guards called on her. And when she goes in, she's in this massive room with all these screens. We get the very cool visual of the first Avengers movie, where Hulk is like, that's my secret captain, I'm always angry. We get the stuff from Ragnarok. We see everything. She's like, what is this place? By the way, he has rows of comics. Oh my God, I wish I could explain this. Back in the day, if you went to a grocery store or Borders or what was another bookstore? I cannot think of the other bookstore. No, Nordstrom is a clothing store. I can't think of the other bookstore. Before that, Barnes & Noble. And you went into these places, there would be these spinning racks that had the comic books on them. You could place, they're four-sided. Issues go all the way from the top, all the way to the down, all the way to the down, really, all the way to the bottom. And that's what was in Kevin's sanctum. But who is Kevin? Kevin literally looks like a Star Wars droid. It's like, I am Kevin. Were you expecting a man? Voiced by Kevin Feige himself. Mind you, he goes uncredited at the end. You know it's him if you've heard him speak. And Kevin stands for Knowledgeable, Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus. He makes all the decisions and creates all the movies. She's like, well, this is my show. This is my show. She's like, no, this is Kevin's show. We're getting meta. We're getting meta, and there's a joke right there. There's a joke in that, right? And Kevin's like, yeah, I make near perfect movies. Where does the near perfect come from? He's like, some are better than others, but I leave the internet to discuss that. He's literally said that in an interview before. We are getting so meta. It is folding in on itself. And that is one of the best parts. By the way, Kevin is a nod to MODOK. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I called it check mark number 2. Technically, that I'm counting that as MODOK. I'm counting that as MODOK by far. So this is amazing. So we get so many great in jokes where he goes, you need to turn back to Jen though before I talk to you. Why is that? Because our virtual effects team is working on something else and you're very expensive. And when he says they're working on something else, we get the Black Panther theme. If you miss it's so subtle, you'll miss it sometimes. Of course, I wasn't gonna miss it on this one because I was just glued to the screen. Wow. And of course, he's like, you can do it when the camera's not facing you. All right, go ahead. Just funny. And she tells him, people say that Marvel movies and shows end all the same way. He's like, wait, who says that? So, the guy gets my powers. Really, it's reminiscent of the super soldier serum stuff. And we see it all the time. Why not we get a different end? Okay, what do you want? Okay, get rid of the Hulk serum thing for this guy. Get rid. Bruce comes out of the sky just to save me. Let's get rid of that. Emil Blonsky should take responsibility for his actions because she's been wanting to beat this dude legally. Nikki's like, no, we're gonna smash him up, but no, she's like, beat this guy legally. And she's like, by the way, I want Daredevil. But put this during the day so people can see me. And by the way, I want Daredevil. And he's like, okay. And he's like, why? He says because a girl's got needs. And another in joke. Kevin Bot goes, yeah, historically we have been lacking in that department. At least they acknowledge their faults. Please don't be a Todd Howard though and make a joke of it and not change that. If anybody knows anything about video games, Todd Howard, Fallout 76. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I have starred a couple of my things here. By the way, Tatiana Maslany looks really good in that She-Hulk suit as herself. Looks really, really good. Really, really good. Tip my hat right there. God, they use females instead of saying women. Females, males. That's funny. Where else am I going with my notes here? So this conversation with Kevin. She sits down. He's like, oh, you're sitting down. She says, also, why does everybody have daddy issues? And she runs down the characters with daddy issues. And he's like, Jennifer, stop. Because she is literally breaking down the barriers of this, like everything that people say is wrong with Marvel movies, which there is some merit to those things. Like everybody got daddy issues, really. And she's like, Star-Lord, 2 daddies, still twice the same issues. Thor has daddy issues. Loki, same daddy, same issues. So that stuff was so funny. Anyway, then she says, yeah, when are the X-Men gonna show up? Just flat out. And she looks at us and goes, She-Hulk is amazing. I don't care what nobody else says. The fact that she did that for me, she ain't do it for you. She did it for me. She asked about the X-Men for me. And Kevin Bott just crosses arms like, I cannot tell you that. That's the interaction with Kevin Bott was the freaking highlight. Just by far the highlight of all this. And she says, I got some thoughts about season 2. He's like, doesn't matter. You gotta leave. We've already fixed how you were able to get in here. You're not gonna be able to get back in here again. And she's like, well, Bruce smashes things. I smash the fourth wall and bad endings. And sometimes Daredevil. That was I love all those lines because it was comedic timing. It was funny. She did a great job. Also, that reference to the practical effects for Bill Bixby turning into Lou Ferrigno Hulk that they did in the beginning, that's really, really good. I hope they use more of stuff like that. Like, it doesn't have to be like all the time, but you could give your VFX people a break. Just saying. But yes, this was great. And after everything is all said and done, it is daytime. Dude, the Todd guy, the creepy guy. Who's Todd? The one who called her a fine specimen with, the white guy with the Wakandan steel. Yeah, that guy. And somehow Matt just appears out of the sky. And you can tell that Pugsley looks a little bit jealous. He's like, is that Daredevil? It's just like, shh. Nick's like, shh. Let her have her moment. Guy's going to jail. Emil Blonsky signing. Like, yeah, I'm going to jail. I get it. Blah, 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 blah. And everything is wrapped up where Matt Murdock is at brunch with her family. And they're already talking about marriage. He's like, I was not prepared for this kind of conversation. Great interactions, by the way. If they're going to be a couple, and I hope she shows up in the Daredevil show. She didn't have to be there for the whole thing like he was for like 2 of her episodes. I do hope she shows up for at least 2 episodes, somewhere in the middle and somewhere at the end. I please let that happen. Wait a minute. He's like 17 episodes or something like that. He has way too many episodes, so there's no way she won't show up. Anyway, while all this is happening, Bruce is back with the shirt. I called it number 3, but you can count it as number 2 because, MODOK thing. But I called this one. Shows up with his son, Scar. CGI Scar, played by Will Dusner. Now, this Scar has a shaved head. My head is not shaved, but he doesn't have the long flowing locks like the one from the comic, which made him look like a green Khazar. And I kind of liked that. I like the long flowing green hair. But yeah, like I said, back in episodes 1 and 2 reviews, Scar's here. I have some theories about that. I'm just going to make sure I hit all of my things here. X-Men. Also within that Feige room, not just She-Hulk, sensational, savage She-Hulk comics, which in the little drawn ending, you see him reading issue number 1. There's also Deadpool comics in there. Right on the corner is Deadpool comics. I had to like squint my eyes really hard, and admittedly so, when I was coming here to talk to you guys, I saw someone say, yeah, there's Deadpool comics. Yeah, so yeah, that Deadpool comics. So Deadpool is coming. Oh wait, we already knew that. Unfortunately, all the dates got pushed back because of the issues going on with the Blade set. I already mentioned that in my Werewolf by Night review. But yes, go watch that review, by the way. Yes. So anyhow, Scar's here. How about I talk about how... Look, let's do some theory crafting here, everybody. So we already know they want to do Young Avengers eventually soon, one day. Not within phase 5 or 6, but they want to do it someday, right? We already have Stature, which is Scott Lang's daughter. We've seen Isaiah Thomas. We've seen Isaiah Patriot. We also have Riri Williams. It looks like they might be going almost exact to the T because we got Kate Bishop. Yelena Belova, you're too old to be a young Avenger. So she's in Thunderbolts, but we have Billy and Tommy. I'm pretty sure we will get Children's Crusade when we get X-Men. That's how you get them back. Or maybe during Secret War, we'll have a Children's Crusade-esque story. That's where, the boys, they're back and they got to get mom. And, I just like Scarlet Witch so much sometimes. But anyway, those two are there. We did see Kid Loki, but he's in another space and time, unless he shows up after Secret Wars, which again, who knows? But remember, Thor also has a daughter named Love. We really got to give her a different name, though. We cannot just call her Love. You can call her Thorin, not Thordis, that's actually a guy. Thorin, whatever the other names of Thor's daughters have been. Or, since she looks like Angela, Thor's sister in the comics, you could just call her Angela. I would love Angela, even if it's just a covert name where she's like, oh, her name is Angela. I'm okay with that. But we also have Angela. Thor has a kid, and now we have Scar, Hulk's canonical kid, right? One of his canonical children. He has, I think Layla is an alternate universe daughter, and then he has another son. Here's another son of Hulk, the younger brother to Scar, who this one is actually bald and he has Earth powers. He's pretty, yeah. Can't wait till we see Kyra, the mother. But anyway, my prediction here: we will not be getting Hulkling. Billy will not be with Hulkling. Billy will be with Scar. Scar will instead be gay and will be with Billy. Because what is the point of the redundancy of having a guy that looks like Hulk but is not Hulk, is actually Kree and Skrull mixed together? Hulkling, whatever his real name is, I don't remember at the time. Hulkling will probably be in whatever adventure we see with the Marvels or Captain Marvel or whatever. But he would not be in the Young Avengers. I am calling it now that it will be Scar. Scar will be gay and Scar will be the boyfriend / future husband of Billy, aka Wiccan. I am calling that now. Where's the shot? Called it. I'm calling it right there. Makes too much more. It makes so much more sense to do it. You get casuals to understand it, and while comic book diehards / gurus like myself will probably be like, "Oh, that's not how it works," or people who just like to complain about stuff, because people are gonna complain regardless. I think it would be fantastic. I would love to see an interaction between Bruce and Wanda. We know Wanda's not dead. I'd love to see that interaction where it's like, oh yeah, our kids are together, so I guess we're in-laws. That'd be kind of funny. So people are saying, well, since Scar's here, that means we're going to get a World War Hulk movie, right? Because Jen, when speaking to Kevin was saying, well, Bruce left to space. This is why I'm introducing, cut him off. Like, no, just do it for the movie. People assume we're going to get a movie. Look, unless they can work something out with Universal, I don't think we're ever going to get a standalone Hulk movie. By the way, the whole Scar thing happens after World War Hulk in the comics. So I will not be a Debbie Downer. I will explain a way that this can be a thing, right? Because right now I'm going, doubt it, but I won't be a Debbie Downer. I'll tell you a way that we can get a World War Hulk movie. He will not be waging war against the world, unless the world tries to kill his son. But I have a theory that father and son got to go back to Sakaar again, because his mother, who is probably now in charge of the planet, Kyra, after the Grandmaster has been officially booted from the position, and I don't know if he's dead or not, but he was supposed to show up in Thor: Love and Thunder, right? But he didn't. They cut the scene. Anyway, after they've taken over all of that, and he goes back and is, all that stuff, perhaps Kree, Skrull, some other race, Meek's race, because Meek was actually a bad guy in the comics. He caused the whole World War Hulk thing by exploding the bomb himself, and by exploding everything and making the bomb himself. He started the whole thing. Really hope they don't turn Meek, but anywho, because Meek is much more enjoyable in these series of movies. But anyway, I can see them going back. Someone starts a war, kills her, and Bruce was kind of getting close to her, especially now they have the son together, and freaks out, and he taps into a darker part of himself. The part that wants revenge. He's tired of standing by and being the nice guy and trying to work things out properly. It has brought out the full rage of the Savage Hulk and the intellectual fury of Bruce. Could it be the World Breaker? Yes, it could be the World Breaker. Or it could be something akin to the World Breaker, who he's tired, doesn't give a damn, he wants to get revenge on everybody. That could be what we get. And not only does he's going after this coalition of planets, World Breaker is now destroying planet after planet after planet of the ones who took away his wife, the mother of his child. I can see that being a thing. And then eventually, now we got to get a new Guardians group, or we get Space Avengers. Something. We get someone to be like, hey, Hulk, you've been killing a lot of people. We gotta stop that. And that can lead into a World War Hulk-esque movie. I I can bet my bottom dollar that could happen. Could, but who knows? Because Universal still holds the rights. Universal probably will never get rid of the rights because Marvel just using the Hulk is generating enough money, and on top of that, they have an incredible Hulk ride. They really like having theme park access. I would hope that maybe Marvel can strike a deal, get the rights back for Hulk and Bruce, but at the same time, allow them to keep the theme ride stuff. Theme ride stuff is really bigger than what people actually acknowledge. Because a lot of people aren't theme park people, but it's way bigger than you think. Still amazed that we were able to get back. Like I work for them. That they were able to get back Namor from Universal because they had Namor, but because you don't use the character, the rights go right back. So that is my long explanation. I guess I really shouldn't just call this a She-Hulk review. I just should call this a Hulk review. But yes, there's really nothing else to say about the episode. She won. Oh, by the way, Emil Blonsky did not stay in his cell. Wong came and helped him. But Wong was late because he was watching another television show because according to Wong, we are in peak era for television, which he's not wrong. Although now I'm kind of feeling like there's way too many damn shows. Just way too many shows on way too many platforms. But that's a topic for some other day, some other way. But he's out now. Will Abomination be part of Thunderbolts? Maybe not. Maybe he can be part of Wong's Midnight Riders, really? Midnight Suns or some other group. Whatever they come up. Maybe Monster Squad. Again, you guys should really watch my Werewolf by Night review, which I'll post a link down in the description right there for it. But yes, that is the episode. She-Hulk Jen has now accepted both halves of herself. Now that she was forced to relinquish that, she has accepted her Jen side and her She-Hulk side. When asked, is she going to be seeking justice for people inside the court or outside the court? The emphatic answer is yes to both. She's going to do both. And when a guy tries to ask who is she wearing, of course she has to scoff him off. I don't know why that's always a question with women, like fashion questions. You also watched the interview when they did the interview for Infinity War, I believe, and they were asking all the guys like real questions. And when they get to Scarlett Johansson, they ask her questions about fashion, which Robert Downey Jr. promptly called out on that. So that's pretty interesting. That's just another meta thing about Hollywood and the world around us, isn't it? So let's talk about the show overall. As a comic book person, I enjoyed She-Hulk. I am not going to act like it doesn't have its issues, because it does. This is not for everybody. This is not a Loki-esque or WandaVision-esque or even, I won't use Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not any of those type of shows. It's more aligned with Hawkeye, right? Do you love Hawkeye? Do you love Jeremy Renner? Do you love Kate Bishop? Do you like Haley Steinfeld? Mwah. Show for you. Do you like Kingpin? You might not like the Kingpin in this one, but I loved Hawkeye. Bias. I enjoyed this show. Bias. Just gonna be completely honest. For me, this episode is not better than the one with Daredevil, but because I got Scar in it, but because we got Matt Murdock again in it, but because we got Wong in it again, but because we got Bruce back in it again, that instantly bumps this up to a 5 out of 5. If it had none of those elements, it would have been like a 4.5 or 4. I'm giving it a 5. Not better than the last episode, but definitely horribly enjoyable. So enjoyable, for me at least. Gonna be honest. Series overall, I'll give it a 4. That's the highest I can give this series, if I'm gonna be honest. I give it a 4. I hope we do get a season 2 for this, but I do hope that we get more in court things, and then maybe down the line, like we get first 2 episodes do court things. Third episode, we're starting to sneak in something that has to do with hero stuff, or it could just be a thorough line of who she's helping. She's helping a particular hero faction, Fantastic Four, and First 2 episodes is that. Then the next 3, we get, oh, look at this wacky adventure that she has with this annex of Fantastic Four people. It can work. Apologies for making this very, very long. I just enjoyed this episode. I enjoy the show. I enjoy the theories that are coming out of this from moi. Just let me know what you think in the comment section below. I really want to know what you think. By the way, pretty sure that Jen is a millennial, if not an elder millennial, because on her walls, she had Aaron Brockovich and Legally Blonde. She got to be like, what is she? I think she is 36. I think she is 36. I think she's 36 or 37. Pretty sure she's 36. We saw that on her dating profile. I said that in one of those episodes, and I don't remember it now. But yeah. Aaron Brockovich is Legally Blonde. I mean, come on. Although it's kind of weird that what was it? There was a show on Fox that had Ally McBeal. It's kind of weird Ally McBeal wasn't there. I heard that the showrunner and director, she didn't know about Ally McBeal. So yeah. 5 out of 5 for the episode, 4 out of 5 for the entire season. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified of more things just like this, because baby, in several weeks, probably 4 if my count is correct, little under a month, Wakanda Forever. Definitely reviewing that one. Please, if there's anything else you would like me to review, Marvel-wise or anything, also hit me up in the comment section down below. I am thinking of reviewing the X-Men anime, which I've seen the X-Men anime literally like maybe a baker's dozen amount of time. I was trying to rewatch it again, but hey, too much TV. Yay. Boo. Yay. So, as always, thank you for taking some time out, for spending some time with me to listen to me ramble about on the shows and things that make us passionate. As always, be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there, everybody. Please be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk, and just know there's someone out there that cares about you. You are loved. Someone needs you, and there's always someone there who would rather talk to you at this very moment than to be mourning you later. So, as always, guys, I can't think of anything witty to say as I close out. So, I'll see you next time. Cannot wait for Daredevil. Mm-hmm.